What's up guys, I'm Zedius, and I'm back with another FIFA 17 video. In today's video we have 2 runs at Division 3. I believe they are our 5th and 6th runs at the division. And every single time we've held it. We haven't got promoted, we haven't gone down. Thus far at least, you'll see today how we do. And I just wanted to show this team really quick. This is a team I've kind of been using for fitness on our Calcio team. I'll never go into foot champs with it, but it's where Harry Kane has been kind of playing and still scoring goals, and we're using that Montoya inform card. So we use that team about every third game or so. We'll play 2 with our main team, 2 or 3 with our main team, and then we'll jump to that team just to get some fitness back on our main Calcio and Manchester United defense players. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about our plan going forward. I talked about the team a little bit, where we plan to improve, but I want to talk kind of a little bit about the series as a whole. This is our 16th episode, and I want to say thank you to everybody who watches the videos. I really do appreciate it, and I hope I'm entertaining. And if not entertaining, because I know it's just some, at least the way I view FIFA videos, they're kind of just something to listen to that's mostly interesting. It's about something I like. And I can kind of trust the opinion of the people I'm listening to, and mostly I do it while I'm playing games, right? So I'll listen to Nick 28T or Nepenthes' Road to Glory series while I'm playing games for recording for this series. And that's kind of how I base this series on. It's somewhere you can find tips, it's somewhere you can find some FIFA discussion. So if you guys ever have topics you want me to talk about or things you want me to get my opinion on, feel free to ask me on Twitter, and I'll be sure to cover it in a video that comes up right after that, or leave it in the comment section of any video. I see pretty much every comment, and I get back to most people as well on there. So yeah, just thank you for watching, and please, your feedback is really important to me. And I would really appreciate it. So I guess we're going to continue in this kind of same vein that we've been going on. A little bit of divisions play every Wednesday. Fridays will be FUT Champs rewards and kind of a tournament tune-up. Maybe purchase a few new players for the upcoming weekend league. And then Monday will be how we did every weekend league. And that's basically the cycle of FIFA this year. Everything revolves around that weekend league. Unfortunately, we are not good enough. I guess I'm not good enough of a player to get elite yet. But hopefully, the more I play and the more comfortable I get with this team, and the more we upgrade the team, those players will help us win games. There's a lot of talk recently in the community about like what a team does for you, and by that I mean like 2 equal players with 2 equal teams should in theory play to a draw, right? So also in theory, 2 equal players, one with a bronze team, one with a full gold team, the full gold team should win, right? What happens when it's 2 players that are using the same team? One is a far superior player, and one is a far inferior player. The superior player would win, right? What happens when you start mixing that up, right? So it's pretty much impossible to tell who is on the exact same skill level. And even if you do match up against someone who is the exact same skill level as you with the exact same team, let's say, on any given day, just the way FIFA bounces, you know what I mean? Just sometimes you feel like you're getting the bounces, and sometimes you're not. It is down to luck. I mean, at the end of the day, it is a video game, and it is based on random number generating, right? That's what all these stats are. Every scenario that happens in a game is just thousands of combinations of random number generating to say, hey, this is what's going to happen. This is what I'm going to show. This is what I'm going to animate in the game, right? So luck is a part of it, and that's the bottom line. But at the end of the day, I believe, and this is kind of contrary to the beliefs of a lot of the predominant people that I kind of just mentioned. Take Nepenthes, for example. As far as I understand it, from what he said in videos, and please correct me if I'm wrong here, player skill is something like 80 to 90%, maybe more, of who wins games, right? And team is maybe 5%. I disagree. I disagree with that. I think team has a much bigger impact on games than some people would like to admit. Because why are people spending the money on these class players, right? That unless they weren't good. Like, if they weren't good, people wouldn't spend the coins on them, right? It's simple demand, right? If a player's bad, I wouldn't spend coins on them, and the market is going to dictate that. Take Chris Smalling, for example. Low-rated card. Not a super popular player in real life in the Premier League, right? You don't see a ton of Chris Smalling jerseys on, but still goes for way above the average price for his kind of bracket, right? So clearly he's a good player. The way his stats are distributed means that he plays well in this game, and it's pretty much undeniable that you have players that are well suited to the game, and if I'm a worse player, right, and I come up against someone who's slightly better than me, if we had even teams, he would beat me. But I have a better team. I have Chris Smalling and Eric Bailly as my defense, and he has, I don't know, let's take two other fairly high-rated center backs in the Premier League, John Terry and Jose Font, right? Good defending stats. Slow, very slow, both of them. I think Terry's got, like 40 pace, and Font has something in the 50s, right? Compared to Smalling's 77 and Bailly's 81. I think I will give up less goals than that other guy, right? I think I have the better defense, and I think it will win me games. And I also think that's fairly undeniable, right? So better players give you more wins. I do think some people think that better players guarantee you more wins, and they think it guarantees you more wins than it actually might, right? So let's say in a Foot Champs weekend league, maybe I'll try this experiment sometime. Let's take that first two set of center backs, right? John Terry and Jose Font. Let's say I use them versus using my pairing of Smalling and Bailly. I would be comfortable saying that's 2 to 3 to maybe even 4 wins that I would be giving up by using that first set of center backs, that slower set of center backs, right? So, and that's a big difference. That could be the difference of 50,000 coins or a bunch of packs, or basically a big deal. So you want to use those better players. Now, when we talk about goalkeepers, right? Is De Gea worth the 100,000 coins over Jack Butland's 3,000 coins or whatever he costs these days? Maybe not. But has De Gea won me games in the weekend league that I wouldn't have won if I had Jack Butland in goal? Yes, undeniably yes, in my opinion. I think having played many games with both of them, I think I have about 80 games on De Gea now, and I played well more than that with Butland. De Gea does make saves that I don't think Butland can make. And at the end of the day, keeping shots out of the net will win you games. So, do I think having De Gea over Butland wins me a game, or 2, maybe even 3 games a weekend league? I absolutely do. So then, is he worth paying more? Yes. Did I maybe pay too much more? Maybe yes. But now we never have to improve the goalkeeper, because De Gea, in my opinion, is top of the line, particularly when you take into account the chemistry factor. So it's that kind of thing that says to me, players matter. Player skill absolutely matters, because at the end of the day, there are certain shot types that no goalkeeper is going to stop, whether it's 96 Neuer, 98 Neuer, whatever he is this year, his Team of the Year card, or a bronze goalkeeper. There are certain shot types in certain scenarios that the ball was going to go in no matter what. On the flip side of that, there are shots that I think 90 rated goalkeepers save and 80 rated goalkeepers do not. So in my opinion, that's why it's worth having a 90 rated goalkeeper. Same thing with strikers, right? It's undeniable that Cristiano Ronaldo is an infinitely is a tough term, but a significantly better player than your 60 rated bronze striker, right? Maybe in that case, infinitely would be the right term. But it's also true that 94 rated this year, is that what he is? 94 rated Cristiano Ronaldo is significantly and noticeably a better player in this game than Dries Mertens, who we're using at left wing. It's undeniable. And he will score you more goals. Will he score you more goals? At least enough to change games for you? Yes, more goals win you more games. That's the way it is. If you score 100 goals in a weekend league and having Ronaldo scores you 120 or 110 even, chances are, statistically, you are going to win more games because of it. And it works the same way with our defense example. If your center back pairing of Bailly and Smalling gives up 50 goals and having Font and Terry gives up 65 goals, then you're going to lose more games with the worst center back pair. The more goals you give up, the more games you lose. Look at Premier League stats. Look at stats of any soccer league in the world. The better your goal differential, the more points you have in the table. In almost every case, at least that's the trend. There are certain situations where you can have maybe a negative goal differential and a few more points than a team above you in the table. I'm not saying it's impossible, but on average, the more goals you score, the better you perform, and the less goals you concede, the better you perform. So if you can get players that fit that criteria, that score you more goals than their alternative, and prevent more goals than their alternative, then it's worth spending the coins on, in my opinion. So that's why I think players like say Ronaldo, right? He's going to score you more goals, and at the end of the day, it is a lot about who is controlling the player on the sticks, on the controller, right? Because if you're not skilled at the game and you don't recognize the patterns and press the button in the right time frame, then it doesn't matter how good of a shooter Ronaldo is if you don't actually press shoot, right? Basically, it gives you a bigger margin of error. The better the player is, the less good you have to be, right? So I just left this piece of corrupted footage in to tell you guys that I missed some goals. Here was the final score of that game. Apologies for that. But back to that point, better players give you a better margin of error, in my opinion, right? So when you take a shot, you point the left thumbstick where you kind of want to aim the shot, right? And then you hold down the circle button for an appropriate amount of time. It depends on where the shot's from, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's a lot of muscle memory, right? Trial and error. Once you find something that works, you just do it over and over. There's a bigger margin of error using Ronaldo shooting than when you're using Eder, who's been our striker for much of this weekend league, right? So at Eder, you have to be a better player to score the same goal because his statistics are lower, right? So statistically, Cristiano Ronaldo has a better chance of scoring than Eder does in the exact same scenario. And as I was saying before, a lot of it's random number generating. So if you have, let's think of it as a pot of 100 balls, right? And red balls, if I pick a red ball out of a pot, it means I score that goal. And if I pick a white ball out of the pot, it means I miss or the goalkeeper makes a save or something like that, right? So let's say out of a pot of 100 balls, in a certain shooting scenario, Eder has 80 red balls that I can pull out. Essentially, that equates to an 80% chance that he will score this goal. Ronaldo has 85, 88, 89. It's difficult to speculate on exactly how much, to put your finger on exactly how much better a better player is than a worse player, right? But I think it illustrates the point that if I reach into that bucket for each of those players, I have a better chance of pulling out a red ball, pulling out a goal when Ronaldo takes a shot, as opposed to when Eder takes a shot, right? So that's my bottom line. I think better players equate to more wins. I think I'd be hard-pressed to ever turn my back on that opinion. And that's also not to say having good players makes you a great player. It doesn't. Having good players will give you more wins. Having good players will not give you all of the wins or transform a bronze level FUT Champions player to an elite level FUT Champions player. It won't do that. It might change a gold 3 into a gold 2 or a gold 1 into elite. It might be that difference, and that's what I'm hoping for with us. I'm hoping as we make these improvements to top quality players, from very good players to elite players, I'm hoping it makes that difference for us, and we can kind of go from the gold 3, gold 2 kind of area to a gold 1 kind of area, and then we can get used to those players and bump up into elite. That's my goal. If we achieve elite weekly going forward in FUT Champs once in February, that would be amazing. But I hope you guys appreciated my prattling on here. Here's the very end of our second run in Division 3. We get a few more coins. We're building up towards this Ciro Immobile here. That'll be our new striker, and hopefully he'll be banging in the goals for us. Better player than Adair. Hopefully it contributes to more wins. So thank you guys for listening. I appreciate it, and I'll see you guys with our FUT Champs rewards on Friday. Thanks. Bye.